Hello, Daniel.
Hi, Eric.
So tell me how you started geocaching.
That's almost 14 years ago now. I started geocaching in February 2008. Back then I was working with disabled kids and I was responsible for creating free time activities for them. So going to the swimming pool, going to the farm or to the museum. And one day I didn't know what to do with them. And then I remembered a friend who told me recently about geocaching. And I thought, okay, let's give it a try. And I asked him if he could lend me his GPS device and explain me how it works. And he said, yes, of course. He was very exhausted about it that I asked him. And then I tried it out with like 10 kids with disabilities. And we found the first geocache in Hanover in the woods. And I was so amazed. I was so pumped that some stranger put a treasure hunt out for other strangers and put it on the internet, and so we could find it. And I was so pumped that I by the end of the day I went on eBay and bought my first used GPS device. That's how I started. I waited on the door for the delivery guy, and the day after I was hooked. I started geocaching and never stopped from then on. That's 14 years now ago.
And what was your first GPS device? It's from Garmin or something?
Yes, it was the Garmin e-Trax, the yellow one.
E-Trax, yeah.
With the monochromatic display and really hard to handle. I remember evenings of preparing geocaching tours. You had to put in each number of the coordinates, each digit by hand. There was no USB connection, there was no Bluetooth. You have to put in everything. It took hours. So I prepared more than I was outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was an important factor of developing the game, because back in the days you need a GPS device. Mm-hmm. Now you can have a smartphone and you can play it more easily. And
I remember also my second GPS device was a Garmin Oregon. And I loved that. I just could plug it to my computer with a USB cable and pull like 1,000 geocaches at the time on my device. It was a game changer. Yeah,
it's an important factor also in my country, because it's not the richest and not many people can afford a GPS to play the geocaching.
Sure. So. That's an upside of geocaching nowadays, because everyone has a smartphone, an iPhone in their pocket, so you don't have to spend another 200 or 300 euro on a special device. The apps are for free, so everyone who wants to can just try it out and see if it's a fit for them.
So how you came up with the idea of business in geocaching?
Geocaching took so many resources in my life. I was stealing working time from my employer. On my working station, I was always figuring out some geocaching mysteries, and I spent a lot of working time on geocaching. I wasn't allowed to do that, but I did it. And so it was so big in my life that I came up with the question, is there a way to do it as at least part-time job? And the first idea was I could start a geocaching-based web shop and sell products like flashlight, GPS devices, magnets, stuff. And I found another geocacher who also had this idea in mind, and we did it together. So we started the geocaching web shop. That's 12 years ago. And it wasn't meant to be like a full-time job. It was, more to compensate the expenses of the hobby. So we spent more and more on gas and on equipment, and it was a way to get something back. But we realized pretty quick that packing things into a package and bringing it to the post office has nothing to do with the game. So we were very happy that sometime later some groups and companies asked us if we could teach them how to do geocaching in the woods. And then we thought, okay, that's interesting. We can do what we like and show it to other people. Let's switch the focus of the company and let's do more events and geocaching tutorials and workshops. And then we very shortly closed the web shop and focused on the event game. So that was the start of the company 12 years ago now.
Yes, and tell me more about, you have a lot of cool caches and creative caches in Hanover. I found some of them. How you came up with new ideas?
I don't have any ideas. Of course I have ideas, but I can't bring them, I can't realize them, because sagt man, ich bin ungeschickt.
Two left hands.
Yeah, two left hands. I have two left hands, you can see. So I'm very happy that I have employees who are Handwerker? Handyman's.
Yeah.
They are very creative, yeah. They know what they do. And if I come up with an idea and share that idea with them, they say, okay, Daniel, nice try, but here's something better. So they come up with the ideas. Of course, sometimes I have ideas and they figure out a way how to do it. But I have a really creative team, and I'm very happy that they work here and they share ideas with each other, and we brainstorm a lot of ideas. And yeah, that's kind of the process. And of course, sometimes ideas come because we try to imagine how we could do a geocache based on the topic of the customer. So, for example, a few years ago, we were asked by a coffee company to create a geocache for them. And you maybe saw it in the video of Joshua. There's a geocache which reacts to heat. And we were sitting in that coffee shop and had a coffee and were thinking, what can a coffee do? A coffee can make you feel more awake, and it's black, and it's hot. And there was the idea. So there are heat sensors, and so we figured out a way to make the coffee the tool to use to solve the geocache. And so that wasn't an idea we had from ourselves, but we had it from the request of the customer. So sometimes that's the customer gives us a topic, and then we try to figure out a creative way to make it a geocache.
Okay. So when you have so many cool caches, the people's expectation will get higher. How do you manage to?
That's actually a big problem, and I don't have a good solution for that, because of course we founded our company here in Hanover, and here we have a really good network, and we are connected to a lot of other companies and are very well known. So each geocache we create, it's just natural that we have the most customers, the most clients here in Hanover. And of course, we try to do the best solution for each of the customer. So each of our new geocaches has to compete with the other older ones. And that brings us in a spiral that makes it really hard to top the other good things. And also the community has very high expectations. When you found like 200 geocaches of us here in Hanover, then you think that's basic. That's how geocaching is, and usually that isn't how geocaching is. The most geocaches in the world are small plastic containers hidden under a tree.
Exactly.
Yeah, but if you have a geocache must contain electric lights. A geocache must contain, I don't know, a mechanism that you've never seen before. It has to contain, I don't know, a lot of features. When that is your basic expectation, then it's very hard to top that expectation. So our way is we move to other cities. It's so hard to please the community here. So we don't try anymore. it's also kind of discouraging. We put a lot of effort in creating all these geocaches, and when we publish it here in Hanover, then people react like, okay, it's another Geoheimnistrigger geocache, it's nice, but I don't spend a favorite point on it, and they could have done it better. There's something
Complaining.
Yeah. So that's why we try to find more customers outside of Hanover, go to other cities like Berlin or Munich or Cologne, and there it is much easier to make to create great effects. For example, we have 4 years ago we published a geocache in Nuremberg, in Bavaria, and this geocache is now the most favorite cache in the whole area. So we have the best geocache in the whole area, and it doesn't take long. So because the expectation of the community was so low that it didn't take that much to top it and to overperform it. Mm-hmm.
And what do you think? Favorite points are important, or how much favorite points you get per month?
I don't know.
What do you think?
I have no idea.
No idea.
No.
But you have 50,000,
Mm-hmm.
more than 50,000. It's very. It's good in Germany, right?
It is. Yeah.
It is, yeah.
I don't know if we're first or second in Germany. There's one owner in a very small town. Forgot. Every geocacher knows he has he focused on great multi-geocaches like das blaue Wunder or 0815. These are really high favorite rewarded geocaches. What's his name? I forgot. But I think he has some more geocaches than more favorite points than we collected. I think favorite points are an important tool. Hot bine, right? And the location, the city where he lives. You can call it. Wachtendonk, right. Wachtendonk is a small town on the Dutch-German border. There's nothing. It's a boring town, but there are so many good multi-geocaches, so high rewarded with favorite points. It's great. I love his work. But for us, favorite points are pretty important because it's kind of proof that what we are doing fits to the expectations of the community, and it's proof that they like what we're doing. Mm-hmm. So it's an important, sagt man, benchmark? Yeah, it's a benchmark for us.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Everybody likes favorite points.
Yeah, true. Mm-hmm.
Every geocacher.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, any future plan, want to extend the business or this? What are the next cities? Berlin, like? Yeah,
on last weekend we published 9 more geocaches in Globetrotter all over Germany. You already did one of the adventure labs in Berlin, and that was a big project. We worked very hard on this the last couple of months, and we would like to have more customers like that because you can you have one idea and you can put it out like 10 times or 9 times or 20 times. Makes it a little bit easier sometimes. And this is also a good customer community fit. Mm-hmm. Globetrotter, they sell outdoor equipment.
Hiking stuff, yeah.
Every geocacher loves being there, and so it's a great fit. And I would love to have more customers like this. We also go for a lot of museums and zoos by now and offer them adventure labs. That's usually a fun branch to work with. It's nice to create a geocache for a museum or for a zoo. You walk around the elephants and the apes and can figure out nice games and riddles for that location. That's great. We have a lot of things on the list for this year. We're by now working on like 4 or 5 geo tours parallel. There will be one in Wiesbaden, in Augsburg. So we're moving more south, more to Baden-Württemberg and Bavaria. We had recently some requests from the United States. It would be cool to have some geocaches there. I don't know. There are a lot of things we would like to do. I have a goal. I would love to find a special geocache, the oldest unfound geocache in the world. It hasn't been found since 21 years.
Wow.
Still the FTF to do. It's on a small island 60 miles away from the coast of Venezuela, and it's pretty hard to get there. I tried to find a boat, skipper, and a charter boat to bring us there, and I can't find any. So I would love to do that. I would love to find this geocache and bring like 10 other geocaches there. That's one of the goals for this year. Mm-hmm.
Sounds very good.
It is. if we could make it happen.
Okay. Thank you very much for the interview, and maybe in a few years I looking forward to welcome you in my city at first mega event in Romania.
I will be there.